Okay, hello everyone, this is Victoria from Money Munch Kids, and today I'm doing a little bit of a walkthrough of the game Cashflow Online. So let's first, when you join Cashflow, the first thing that you're going to see is you're going to see some servers or some rooms here for people to play. So if you're going to be joining us, you'll get an email with the room name. So for this example, we're just going to create our own room, and I'm just going to name it, and I'm going to put passwords so that no one else joins us while we're doing this tutorial. So there's only one person in our game, and you can click if you want to start your own game and play on your own time. You can note how many players you want to allow, and you can allow up to 6. No, I'm sorry, up to 5 others besides yourself, so total 6. But for this, we're just going to keep it just to me, just so that we can get this done for you guys. So the first thing that happens in the game here is you're going to load, you're going to see this beautiful screen. And this is the cash flow board. This wheel down here is called the rat race. And then around here is called the fast track. Now on the fast track you see all these purple squares. These are dreams, and this is very important because this is actually one of the ways to win the game. And so you can choose different dreams by clicking through these arrows. As you see right here, my little cheese is going to move onto the ship, and then we're going to go look at the next one, the film reel. So you can choose whatever dream you want. It doesn't actually matter. So I'm just going to choose that one. And now when it comes to your turn, before you even take your turn, you can choose to repay or borrow money from the bank. So if you've taken out a loan, you can repay the money first before you roll, or if you want to take out a loan, then you can borrow money as well. So before I get to that, let's go to our financial statement here. Awesome. So this is my financial statement. Option for 2. So you see there's 4 sections here really. It's income, expenses, assets, and liabilities. So we're going to go through each one of these, okay? Now under the income, you'll note that you've already been assigned a job at random. So I'm a teacher. Very ironic. And so I make a monthly cash flow, monthly salary of $3,300. So that's my paycheck for the month, right? Now under income, and let me just I want to go through this with our own definitions here. So income, as you'll see in Money Munch Kids products, is defined as anytime you get money. The official definition is any money received, especially on a regular basis. So if I'm a teacher, I go to school, I teach kids. Every month they pay me $3,300. That's a very low paycheck for a teacher, I'm just saying. Anyway, so there are other ways that you can earn income, like interest or dividends. I think I have a definition for dividends actually. Yep, a dividend. Okay, so dividend is money you get as a thank you for investing in a company. And then interest is a small amount of money that the bank or a company gives you for letting them keep your money or use your money. And so those are interest and dividends. So if you invest in like a company and buy some stocks, then you will get interest from your investment in the form of interest, or your return on your investment will be either interest or dividends. I'm trying to keep this really simple, you guys. You can also buy real estate, which is homes or apartment complexes. People buy property, or businesses. You can invest in businesses, and those can all make you money, and so that's why they're in the income section, okay? Next, we have our expenses. Now, the way that we define expenses is anytime you spend money on something, or it's also defined more formally as the money spent on something. So expenses that we have here are taxes, and we do have a definition for taxes as well, is the money we pay the government to pay for things that everyone uses, like roads, hospitals, police, etc. We have our home mortgage payment, and the mortgage is just the document that you have when you go to buy a home. So apparently my teacher in the Cashflow game has bought a home. So it costs a lot of money, so you get a mortgage as like a payment plan. So you pay a little bit every month. So the payment that I pay every month for that is $500. I have a car loan payment, so I bought a car and I borrowed some money to pay for the car, so that's $100 a month. I have a credit card payment, which is $90 a month. Retail payment, to be honest, I've never 100% been sure what retail payment means, but it says $50. and then other expenses of $760 per month. So before I get to anything else here, let's go and see what happens with this income and expenses. So you see over here we have total income $3,300. That matches our salary, our paycheck from being a teacher. And then all of these expenses, if you were to add them up, should equal $2,130. That's where your total expenses are. So your income minus your expenses. And here they're calling it payday. In our workbooks, we call it profit. It depends on how you're getting your income, what you call it. But we'll call it payday here. So at the end of, after I get my paycheck as a teacher and I pay all my expenses for the month, then $1,170 is what I will have left over to do something with, right? And so also, generally most players start off with some amount of cash. I have $400 in cash, so there's that. And that's just that extra, that's pocket money, that's money that I have when I start the game. It's not included as far as my income or expenses. It has nothing to do with that. It's just cash money. Right. So then we have our assets, and an asset is defined as a useful or valuable thing or person or quality. For this case, we're just talking about things. So those are things like different types of investments that will help make us money, and that's why they're valuable, right? Because they're doing something for us. They're giving us money. So those can be stocks or funds or CDs. Those are different types of investments. And just like before, when I told you about people can buy houses and apartment complexes or businesses, those are also types of investments. So those are spots here for when you play the game. If you get an asset, it'll go here on your sheet. And then we have liabilities. Now, liabilities is really interesting because they are connected to our expenses. A liability is defined as a state of being responsible for something, especially by law. So when you go to buy like a home or a car and you're borrowing money, you sign a piece of paper, like on a home it's called a mortgage, when it's a car it's a loan, saying that you are going to pay this total amount, and you're going to pay it in pieces. So this is that total amount. So on our home mortgage, the total amount we owe is $50,000, but we're only paying $500 a month, right? So if, say, you were to ever get a large amount of money, you can pay off your liabilities entirely, and then you won't have as much expenses every month because you'll have the total amount paid off. So here we have the home mortgage, the car loan, the credit cards, retail debt, and real estate liability spots here for any liabilities that we have for those investments. But you see these here, they're connected very directly to your expenses. The only expenses that you can't pay off are your taxes and other expenses. So there you go. And why this is important is, in the game, what you want to try to do is get your total expenses less, as low as possible. So why this is important in the game is up here. You'll see passive income. Passive income means when you go purchase something and you are investing in an asset that's going to earn you money every month. You just purchased it and you don't have to do anything to it anymore. The money just comes in, right? That's your passive income. And as this bar grows, eventually you want it to reach more than your total expenses. So you can do this two ways. You can bring more money in, and you can take away how much expenses you have, so you can make your expenses less. And once your passive income is more than your total expenses, the money, again, that's coming in, that you're not doing anything for, you're not going to a job, you're not working for the money, it's just coming in because you were smart with your money and you invested in something. Then that means that you no longer have to go to work, because your investments are paying for all your expenses. And that's kind of the goal of the game. That's how you get out of the rat race here. So that's why that's important. So let's take a roll array. Let's play the game. Oh my gosh, that was so much explanation. I'm sorry, you guys. So I rolled. Okay, here we go. So I rolled on the charity. So there's donate to charity. If you donate 10% of your total income to roll 1 or 2 die over your next 3 turns. Awesome. So I would have to donate $330. Now I only have $400 cash. So someone may not want to donate that much money because that's almost all your cash. But don't worry, there's opportunities to get a paycheck as we play the game. Now, again, you may not want to spend that money. I tend to have good luck when I donate to charity, um, because it gets me around the board faster, but that's me. So I'm going to choose to donate. Awesome. So finish your turn. I don't want to do anything else. I just going to end my turn. It's going to go to the next person if there was somebody else playing. Since there isn't, see now when I'm taking my turn and I've donated to charity, I can choose 1 dice or 2 dice. I'm pretty sure that this yellow thing here is a paycheck. You do not have to land on the paycheck to get your money. You just have to pass it. So I'm going to go with 2 dice. Oh, look how... Oh, no, I got a baby. Oh. Okay, this is actually a good learning moment. I got a baby. Yes, that was a very honest reaction. You can only get 3 babies in the game. I did not know this when I played many years ago. And let's just say that one of the players in that game got pelted with a bunch of stuffed animals because they kept getting babies, and we didn't know there was a limit. So, you don't have a choice. If you land on the baby, you get a baby. That's it. And my baby will increase, child expenses will be increased by 180. You'll notice that I didn't have any child expenses before. Well, now I do. And here you go, right there. There it is. Darn. Alright, so that's the end of that turn. That's I'm going to roll with 2 dice again. I landed on my paycheck. There's nothing you do when you land straight on the paycheck, so you really actually want to try to pass it. So in that turn, I'm going to roll my 2 dice again. Woohoo! Oh no, I got a doodad. Okay, so this is a doodad is something that you're spending money on for no reason. So I have to pay. I had to get new sunglasses, and I have to pay $80 for them. But I don't. Oh, actually, I have cash. That's right. I got a paycheck. Woo! Okay, I have the money to pay for my sunglasses. So I'm just going to click pay. And what you'll notice here is that this cash number went down now. That took it out of my cash. Alright, end. So, here's the next roll. Let's see if I can get... Okay, I got an opportunity. This is important. So, there's different types of opportunities. There's small deals and big deals. And that just means how much money's involved. So, deal opportunity. Which deal do you want? A small deal or a big deal? I don't have a lot of money here. I don't have enough money to deal with a big deal that's $6,000 or more. So, I'm going to go with small deal, okay? You find a great deal. An older 3-2 house. 3-2 means 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Repossessed by the government agency, ready to go with government financing, and a tenant. A tenant means the person who's living there. So if your family rents a home or apartment, you are the tenant. So it costs $35,000. So the cost here would go in our liabilities. The cash flow is $220. That's actually pretty good cash flow. So that's how much money you'd be getting per month, right? Because that's where our money is for our paycheck under the cash flow. And the down payment is $2,000. So I'm going to get this, just if no other reason, then we can see it on our sheet here. So what should be affected should be our income. We should have a real estate, a 3-2 house here. We should get a real estate 3-2 house here and how much it cost us. And then a liability, and this should say the 3-2 house over here, and we should have the $35,000 here. I think the cost of the assets here should be the $2,000 if I remember correctly. So let's do that and see what happens. Boom. Awesome. So let's just show this right here. Okay, so that's it. Nope, $35,000. And the liability is, now this is interesting because we have the 3-2 house here and the full cost was $35,000. And under liabilities is $33,000. And if you remember, our down payment was $2,000, and that's why there's a $2,000 difference between the $35,000 and the $33,000. What's great about playing Cashflow Online is you don't have to do the math. It does it for you. I have the actual board game, and believe me, it gets hard. So you also have our 3-2 house here. There's our 220, and see how our passive income went up? That's awesome. So we want to get this all the way here. So we're going to end my turn. We're going to do one more roll, and that'll be the end of the tutorial, okay? So we're going to go again. Another deal opportunity. Awesome. So let's just show a big deal just for funsies, I guess. All right. Automated business for sale. The cost is $100,000. The down pay is $20,000. I don't have that money. But the cash flow is $1,600. So you see that's a lot bigger than the $220 that we got. So the bigger deals, it costs a lot more. There's a bigger down payment, and that down payment comes out of your cash, by the way. But you do get more cash flow. So if you end up, making a lot of money, then you can do this. But I can't afford it to my cash. So I'm going to, can I repay? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to try to repay some debt here just so you guys can see this, the very last thing. So I'm going to repay my retail loan. So pay off the loan for retail debt. That's $1,000 total because I have $1,000 here, and that should reduce my monthly expenses by $50. So this should go down. This total expenses up here and the total expenses down here should go down $50, and this should be gone off of my expenses side. And that means that we'll have $50 more because we're not paying it, right? So we're just going to pay that. Awesome. I don't know if you guys can hear the sound effects. So boom, there it is. That retail expense is gone. It's less $50 here, and we have a little bit more money. So that's how all of those things work. If you're joining us for a cash flow game, I hope you enjoyed this. I know that this was a little bit, it's less fun when there's not another person, but that's how everything works in the game. And I'll see you online.